Skyler's my older brother.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's-
So your name is what?
Yeah.
Jordan.
I totally realized I did that. I was
Yeah.
like, wait a minute,
You're good.
your name's not Skylar.
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan.
Well, you look just like him too.
It's hard.
I just made the connection with the sky for Skylar.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I'm
gosh.
Well,
sorry,
you're gonna
we'll
have
just
to
mess
do a
it
different
up.
one.
You're funny. Yep, that was all my fault. Okay, so I'm just going to pass around the packing list. I just want to talk about it really quick. So it has a list of all the stuff you guys need to bring. We want to make sure that everybody orders a scrub top, an RHS scrub top, just for one day for pictures. And then other than that, you'll probably want to bring, I think when I went down there, I brought one other scrub top and then one pair of scrub pants. And then they have ones you can borrow. They have like hundreds of different sizes. So I would maybe just buy one set, a top and bottoms. And they'll actually do laundry for you. So if you bring one pair and you borrow a set from them, they'll wash that one pair while we're gone out of the clinics. And then when you come back, it'll be clean. So you only really need one set and then the RHS scrub top, okay? And then, obviously we put everything on here, like clothing and stuff to wear and things like that. I'll show you guys what type of bug spray and stuff like that we want you to bring. Rita uses a brand called Sawyer, and it's actually a lotion. A lot of the other stuff just doesn't work as well, and it's been a really wet season, so we'll really go over the precautions with mosquitoes. And then there's also a spray that you'll want to spray on all of your clothes before you go, and I'll explain that too, but I'll wait till we get to that. So today we're just going to talk about safety and health precautions for the DR trip. And then next week, I'm trying to remember what's on our schedule. So next week we'll learn how to do blood pressure, take blood pressure, so it'll be a pretty quick meeting. And then the next week we'll talk about Days for Girls, so we're actually going to have somebody come in and give an introduction of what Days for Girls is, the type of training you have to do, because there's like a online type of video that you'll have to do with that. Same for you, Dixie students, you'll also have to do that training. And then the final day we'll do a packing trip. So I have all the donations in my office. I've got 3 suitcases, and then Amy, one of our other staff, is donating 2 others. But we require you to bring an extra suitcase. You'll probably want to bring one, maybe like a duffel bag that you can fit in your other bag, so that when you come back, so when you travel down, you'll have 2 bags. You'll have to pay for a bag that you check. But to come back, you'll want to maybe use a duffel bag so that you can stick it in your other bag and you don't have to pay to check too. Does that make sense? Okay. And then we'll have ones that we donated that you can just leave down there. Okay. So some of you can use those ones. And if you have a bag that you want to donate, a bag from the DI, something like that, we can work that out too. Okay. We'll talk a little more about that a different day. So. Away. We're just going to talk about health issues, including water, food, insect precautions, vaccines, medications, all of the immunizations that you guys need, and then current country and cultural information. Okay, so immunizations, the ones that we require for you to have, these are on here. The Tdap is one of the ones that we require. I'm pretty sure that everybody has sent me proof of those. If you haven't, you'll get an email from me telling you to send me information, proof that you had those immunizations. This is another one. So a lot of this stuff comes from the University of Utah's Travel Center. This isn't one that they require. I think when I looked at everyone's immunizations, most people had the MMR and the chickenpox vaccine, but it's not required for our trip. It's only TB, Hep A, Hep B, and then the flu shot, but we'll go over these anyways. For the flu shot, we just encourage you to get one within the season. I think everybody sent me a new flu shot anyways, just because we had students go down before, and we had a lot of them get the flu, because they had it within a year instead of within that season, because, as you know, the flu strains kind of change and things like that. And then hepatitis A and hepatitis B. Again, recommended for all travelers. Hep A is from contaminated water and food, which is something that is often a concern down in the DR, so that's why we require you to get that. And then Hep B with blood contact, sexual contact, all things like that, which is required. And then the typhoid vaccine, again, is not required for our trip, but it's listed on here through the University of Utah. Okay, does this look like safe drinking water? No. Good, okay, everybody said no. Good, it is not, okay? You cannot drink the water in the Dominican Republic. They have big coolers at the guest house, and they actually give you a water bottle, like a pretty good sized water bottle you can keep through the whole week, and refill it with their clean water. We cannot stress this enough, like you literally cannot even get the water from the sink in your mouth. Do not brush your teeth with it. You can wash your hands in it, and you can use it for showering, but do not get that in your mouth. Same with when you're taking a shower, keep your mouth closed. We had students, I mean even me, when we were down there, my sister and I and 5 other students got it in their mouths on accident, and we were all very, very sick. We had students throwing up on the way home on the airplane, okay? So we're not trying to scare you, but we just want you guys to be safe, okay? They have plenty of water for you to drink that is safe. And then the same thing when you're brushing your teeth, you're just gonna have to use a cup of clean water. And they have a cooler actually in your room. And then when it gets empty, you can just go down to the guest house and just fill it up, okay? So just, please don't get any water in your mouth. If you do, make sure you tell your staff member. If you're feeling sick, anything like that, make sure you are telling Locke or his wife, Carol, that you are not feeling good, that you got the water in your mouth, something like that, okay? Just keep them informed of what's happening so that they know. And then make sure that you are, when you're out on the clinics, you're drinking plenty of water, okay? It is really hot there. If you're not used to the heat and the humidity, it will definitely be a struggle the first few days because it is very hot down there. Okay, and it's a different kind of heat than Utah because it's not dry, it's a humid heat. Again, like I said, only water bottles are safe. Like if you buy one at the airport, that's totally fine. The one that they give you is fine. Any of the water from the coolers that they have, they'll have plenty of water, just don't drink anything from the sink. Okay. I would try to, yeah, like I said, brush your teeth with a water bottle, avoid ice. There's one of the days where they take you out to the restaurant. You can drink the water there, it's fine, they're not serving you contaminated water. And you can eat the food at the restaurant as well. But things like this, I think most of the nights they'll let you guys, well, before it gets dark, when we come back from the clinics, usually we're back around 3 or 4, they let you go out into the community in San Juan de la Maguana and kind of do walk around, get ice cream, things like that. Be careful with food. Probably shouldn't buy any food. They feed you in the guest house, and the food was really good the whole time we were there. So just don't be eating any of the food that you see out on the streets unless it's ice cream. There's an ice cream place that they'll tell you, oh, you can go there. But any of that food that you see, probably don't do that. So it's always good to bring snacks on the trip as well. If there's any types of snacks that you like, you can pack in your bag, bring anything that you want with you. Again, all the food, we don't really have to really go over this in specific, but because it says don't eat raw salad or veggies. Anything that they feed you in the guest house you can eat. All of it is edible. They're not going to feed you anything that makes you sick. They cook the food all the way, they do a really good job. So this is really only if we're out in the community areas after we're done in the clinics for the day. And then I guess we just have to talk about getting travelers diarrhea transmitted by unsanitary foods, unsanitary food handling, things like that. Like I said, if you are sick, please make sure to tell your staff. Hopefully we don't have people getting sick on this trip because in May we had a day where I think we only sent out like 8 students because so many of us were sick. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Bring hand sanitizer, make sure you're washing your hands, especially when you're touching other people out in the clinics before you have lunch, because you'll pack a lunch and bring it with you out there. Make sure you bring hand sanitizer and wipes to wash your hands before you eat. We don't want you to catch a cold or anything like that while you're down there. So it will ruin your trip. It's not fun. Like I said, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer. Sometimes it's good to bring Pepto or Imodium or anything like that. Maybe your stomach doesn't do well with new foods. You may have some issues and you want to bring that stuff with you. Anything else, they have a nurse on staff there, and then all the people at the guest house, I mean, they're great. They'll check on you and things like that. So, again, like I said, wash your hands. When you're out at the clinics, there's like a outhouse bathroom, but there's nowhere to wash your hands, so you have to bring wipes and hand sanitizer. Okay, and the good thing is at the guest house, they actually put wipes in your room, so you can take them and bring them with you out to the clinics and stuff. So, I actually think that's on the packing list, is to bring antibacterial wipes and sanitizers. Okay, so just talking about the different diseases you can get from mosquitoes. If you're somebody if you've gone somewhere where there are a lot of mosquitoes and you've gotten eaten alive, definitely want to bring a whole lot of bug lotion. Okay, so usually what you'll want to do is put it on first thing in the morning before you go out, and then you'll probably want to reapply throughout the day, maybe at lunch, and then again in the evening. Okay, if you're somebody that gets eaten alive. I didn't get one bug bite while I was there. My sister was covered. Okay, so it really just depends. They say it's something genetic, that mosquitoes just like certain people's smell in their blood. It's weird. So some people get eaten alive. Some people like me don't even get one bite. Okay, and I didn't even I didn't use any of that bug lotion. I didn't have a problem. So it really depends on the person. But Rita did tell me that they've had a lot of mosquitoes this year. It's been really, really wet. So make sure you're reapplying. Same with sunscreen. So if there's 3 of the biggest things, especially when you're going out to the barrios, you're in usually like just an empty building. There's no AC, there's no running water, it's just a building. And people will come to those clinics to work with you. So make sure you have water and you're drinking it. Don't forget to drink water. Make sure you're always applying sunscreen, and then same with the bug lotion. Okay, we just want you guys to be safe. I just got really unlucky. The trip that I took, everyone got sick. Rita's like, that's never happened before. I don't know what happened to you. So I just got unlucky. There might have been a stomach bug or something, but I think it was that a lot of us got the water in our mouths. Okay. Malaria, that's one of them. If you are having any of these symptoms after you come back from the DR, see a doctor right away, and also please tell our office. Okay. Come to the office, let us know what's going on with you, just so SUU will want to know if you got sick on the trip. Okay. Yeah, fever, chills, shaking, sweats, headache, muscle aches upon returning to the U.S. Go to a physician, come see our office, just let us know what's going on. Okay. I don't even know how to say that. Parasitic disease transmitted by a bite of an infected sandfly. Sandflies are tiny. I didn't see any when I was over there, but if you have any of those lumps, or you have sores, swollen lymph nodes, or anything like that, again, make sure you see a doctor, let somebody know. Also can't say that one either, but it's newly recognized in the U.S. Virus spread through mosquito bites. No vaccine or medication to prevent it. Again, just make sure that you're using the bug spray. If you're feeling sick at all, let somebody know. Wear light colored clothing, wear long sleeve shirts and pants. So when we go out to the barrios, you have to wear closed toed shoes, okay? You have to wear scrub pants. You can't wear jeans, you can't wear shorts, skirts, anything. You need to be having scrub pants on and then a scrub top, okay? You'll be a lot cooler in those than if you were to wear jeans or something like that, okay? They just want you to, one, because of bugs, and two, just because of safety. We don't want you to wear open-toed shoes and have something fall on your foot or anything like that. No perfume or scented soaps or lotions. Bugs love that, so you probably don't want to wear any of those. It's okay if you just smell plain for the whole week that you're there, it's alright. And then pre-treating your clothing. Oh, I actually have a bottle of it in the office, but I'll pull up a picture. So what you'll do with Promethean, I think that's how you say it, is with most of, at least what I did with all my clothing is, I just laid it out like in my garage. You could lay it out like in your yard or something. You just spray the front of the shirt and then the back, and then you leave it outside to dry. It says on the bottle how to do it. And you can just buy just a small spray bottle. Like I said, I'll show you guys a picture. You spray it on your clothing. Probably, I did it like a day before we went. Don't wash your clothes. I mean, it's good for a couple washes, but you don't need to bring it with you. Just spray the clothes before you go. Let them sit out and dry. On the back of the bottle it says, I think it's only for like an hour or so. And then you can just fold it all up, put it in there. And make sure you're not spraying it close to your face, because I mean, it is a chemical, it can make you sick. But yeah, don't wash your clothes in it. We had students that bought giant bottles and washed their clothes and then completely destroyed their clothing. Spraying it on it, not a problem, you'll be just fine. But we just want to make sure you have all of your clothes sprayed. And just your outer layer, okay? Like, you don't just spray like your underwear and things like that. Just the area, the clothing that's going to be on top that bugs are exposed to, okay? And then Sawyer's controlled release formula, that's what Rita uses. It works really good. It's just a lotion that you can rub on your skin. Again, you only have to put it on places that are exposed, okay? It's not like you don't have to put it all over your body, just arms, skin, neck, things like that. Okay. And then probably when we go out to eat that one day, I don't even think they served any of that food at the restaurant they took us to, but reef fish, grouper, snapper, amberjack, and barracuda. I don't think anybody really wants to eat any of that, but just so you know, probably don't eat those. And then make sure that you're healthy before you go, okay? Make sure that you are, if you take daily vitamins, make sure you're taking those. Maybe bringing some airborne with you, things like that. And then just before you go, making sure that you're healthy, okay? If you have any sort of serious illness that happens before the trip, let us know. We'll see what we can do about maybe moving you to a different trip or getting you refunded, because we understand with health issues, okay? Again, make sure you bring all your medications. If you're on any sort of meds, make sure you bring enough. You don't want to run out while you're there. Those you want to put in your, like if you bring a backpack or a purse or something, you want to put it in there in case for some reason your luggage gets lost. You want to make sure you have the necessary items. So medication, your wallet, passport, all that stuff would want to go in like your backpack. Let's see. Note from a physician explaining medical conditions. I don't think anybody had those because I didn't receive any sort of notes from doctors, so I think you guys should all be good on that one. They have all this stuff there, but it may be good to bring like a small Band-Aid, like a kit with Band-Aids and some other sort of stuff. They have like really small ones you can get at Walmart. But again, we're going to be working in clinics, so we're going to have all that stuff with us. Okay. And then insurance, we kind of already went over this. Most of you know if your insurance covers you internationally, great. If not, hopefully you purchased the international insurance through SUU. With that, I don't ever need to see the card. If you said, oh, I bought the insurance, that's enough, that's fine. I don't need to see the card. It's just as a precaution. I didn't even get the card before I left on the trip, and I was fine. So it's kind of weird how they do that. If you have questions, I would just call them. because the international office deals with all of that. We don't really. So it's just good to have because it'll make it really inexpensive if you go with a lot of times your own insurance. It's really expensive if something does happen. And like I said, yeah, inform your trip leader, so that would be Locke or his wife, and letting them know that you're not feeling good, just having it checked out. You know, we don't want you to get very ill because it was something small and then we could have fixed it, okay? And then for money, we just encourage you to bring, because it says on there, I think it says $200. Really you only need money for the airport, if you want to buy food, and then souvenirs. Everything else is covered. The airplane flight, you'll want to bring like a card so that you can pay for your one bag. But other than that, just bring cash for, you know, snacks and souvenirs if you want to buy them. There is a night that they bring in people from the community that are selling jewelry and bracelets, and we had a student, there's a guy that makes dresses and ties and suits and things like that. So there were students that had things specially made by the tailor. He'll make it. You can bring like an example dress or something, and they'll make them for you. So that's cool. So they kind of bring the souvenir people into you. And then the last day that you're there, so Friday, you leave on Saturday, but on Friday you'll get to explore Santo Domingo, the colonial area, and there's a lot of touristy types of stuff and souvenirs to buy down there, okay? You want to just make sure you're not bringing big, you know, $100 bills or things like that, just small cash, and keeping it in different places, okay, in case, you know, it happens to get stolen or something like that, which I've never heard of happening, but just in case. And then, yeah, bringing a credit card. I had students who were like, oh, I don't have any money, I just brought an ATM. Well, I just brought my card to take money out. I'm like, well, that's not going to happen here, so you should have brought some money. You don't have to get it exchanged, they'll do that there for you. If you decide that you, and most places take American money, but some of the students, when they were there, they exchanged like $10 or $20 to go out in the colonial area because they wanted to buy some souvenirs. So they'll do that at the guest house. You don't have to change any money. It's very difficult to change it back. So remember to bring your passport. If that's like the only thing that you remember, that's the most important thing. Do not forget your passport. If you get all the way to Vegas in the airport and you don't have your passport, oh my gosh, that is going to be awful. Okay, make sure you have that. And keep it somewhere safe. If you lose that, you are going to be stuck in the DR, and that is not fun, okay? So make sure you have that passport. That's very important. And then it says make 2 copies. I will do that. And the guest house likes to have a copy of it as well. So I think they actually use it for the night you stay in the hotel. So don't worry about that. Just bring your passport. If you see dogs, or you'll see a lot of dogs, kittens, please don't pet them. And I'm an animal person, so all the dogs I saw, I was like, oh, like, oh, poor things. But I just wouldn't. A lot of them carry diseases, and you don't want to get bit by one. Just, you know, if you see a dog, well, that's cool. There was a few in some of the clinics who would just suggest you don't pet it or let it lick you or anything like that. I mean, you don't have to be afraid of it. They're not going to bite you. They're really friendly. They just want food. But we would just rather you not touch them. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, sun protection. We're not going to be swimming or going to the lakes or oceans or anything, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, please never go barefoot, ever. That's kind of gross. Also, one thing we suggest is bringing like shower shoes, like flip-flops or sandals or something to just wear in the shower. Yeah. Okay. And then when you do go out into San Juan de la Maguana, you don't have to leave. You can stay in the compound, and you don't have to go out into the town. It's not required. If you want to go explore, that's fine. There were students that wanted to see a church that was there, so they went for a walk, but then half the group just stayed back, so you don't have to go out. But if you want to do some exploring, they've got stuff you can go and see. You have to just be back before it gets dark, so you really don't have to worry about that. Just, I guess, be cautious that you don't have a wide open bag with money just hanging out of it, okay? You know, just be cautious of theft. I mean, people try, you guys have traveled before, you never know what people are wanting to do, steal and stuff like that, so just be careful.
You don't want anybody going out individually. Or just
No, you cannot go out by yourself, you have to go with a pair. I prefer you go, well, we prefer you go in larger groups, but I mean, when it's daylight out, they yell lots of things, and especially if you're a girl, they will yell things to you in Spanish, which, I mean, some people are uncomfortable with that, but it's just their culture. So, like I said, some students didn't want to go out, but yeah, if you're going to go, make sure that they're going in pairs or in groups, okay? And then just be respectful of the customs and their culture, and there is Solid Rock International is a religious organization. So you will say a prayer in the morning, you'll say a prayer before you leave on the bus to go to the clinics, and then you'll say a prayer before meals, okay? Just be aware that that's just how they function. It's a very religious group over there. Even the locals are very religious. They will take you to church on Sunday. It's all in Spanish. But they take you to a religious service on Sunday night. You do not have to go, okay? You can say, no, I'm good, I'm just going to stay back. That's totally fine. Some of the students thought that it was really fun and they wanted to go, and then some of them decided they just didn't want to. So it's not required, it's just kind of cool to get exposure to the culture while you're there. And just, you know, we tell you all these things to keep you safe, but the trip really is a lot of fun. Like, you guys will really have an amazing time while you're there. So we just want you to be safe, because you are going into another country where, you know, there are a lot of illnesses, and it's almost like being in a third world country over the Dominican Republic. You'll see a lot of poverty, probably like you've never seen before, while you're over there, but the experience is wonderful. The students really enjoyed it. So I just wanted to quick go over, oh, and then, like I said, if you develop any sort of symptoms when you come home, make sure you see a doctor and then let us know. Just come into our office and say, hey, I just want you to know that I just came back from the DR, I've been in the hospital, or I went and saw a doctor because I've been sick. We just need to know that, okay? We don't want, we want to notify Rita and SUU's travel office and just let them know in case something happens, okay? We'll come back to questions, but I just wanted to talk about kind of the itinerary for the trip. So we'll want everyone to be at the airport 3 hours before the flight, which I believe is at, probably should have written this down somewhere, it's got to be in my email because I know I sent it to you guys. I think it's at 10:20 is when you will go to the airport. Let's see if it's in here. Let's see. It's on there somewhere because I sent it to everybody. Should have written it down so I would know.
So on the 27th.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's not that one. I swear I wrote that one. You said the 27th was when I sent it?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I should give you a month. It was September 27th.
You're in the drafts. Not
Oh,
this.
that's fine.
Go to your sent items.
Gosh.
Your, subject bar says, Dominican Republic trips to Sunday.
Oh, well, this is the itinerary. Okay, so, oh, do I not have one of the flight leaves? No, I don't. I'm pretty sure the flight's at 10:20, but I'll have to double check. And I know I sent it to everybody, but I can't find it. So I want you to be at the airport at 8 o'clock, okay? Yeah.
Are you gonna give us all boarding passes beforehand and we go, or are we gonna be as collective?
No, okay, so do not check in. When you get to the airport, just sit and wait, okay? You'll meet up with Locke, and then you guys will all check in together, okay? We don't want anybody checking in on their own. So you'll meet there at 8 o'clock, and we don't have any sort of like buddy system for people traveling, but last year we had a bunch of students just kind of carpool together because some of them left their car there, and then they all just went in on paying to park for a whole week, which was kind of nice. Because what happened was our flight came back and it was delayed 4 hours coming back. We were supposed to leave Miami at 10 and we didn't leave till 1:30 in the morning. So I missed my shuttle and a bunch of other students did. So the students that had cars there just went home or just went to friends' houses. But those of us that were traveling back to St. George or to Cedar with a shuttle missed it, okay? So just be thinking about that. We were lucky that my sister came with me on the trip, and 2 of the students had room in their car and they were able to give us a ride back to St. George so I could get my vehicle. But taking a shuttle just makes it kind of hard. If you have, sometimes the best thing is just staying in Vegas that night and then driving back after. Some hotels will let you keep your vehicle there for the full week while you're gone. So just think about different options. It's just if you are depending on a shuttle, it makes it very difficult. Because if you call a hotel and you say, hey, my flight's delayed, I gotta check in at this time, usually they'll just let you check in. With the shuttle, well, the shuttle doesn't run anymore, so we don't open again until 6 o'clock in the morning, so you're gonna sleep in the airport, okay? So just think about stuff like that, because you can't control flights, you just can't. I think there was a storm, and then they had aircraft issues, and that's why we were delayed. So sometimes those things you just can't control. Okay, so the first day you'll fly out on a Friday, you'll get into Santo Domingo on Saturday afternoon. Usually it's a connecting flight. I think this one said it connects in you either connect in Miami or South Carolina. Those were the 2 connection flights. I think we picked Miami. Anyways, you'll connect somewhere, and the next day you'll get into Santo Domingo. They will be there to pick you up. Usually Comanda is who will pick you up, and she'll usually have a sign. There'll be a group there. They'll drive you 3 hours to San Juan de la Maguana. Actually, I'm trying to remember. I think the first night you'll stay in Santo Domingo. They have a pool at this place where you're going to stay, and then the next day you'll get up and you'll drive 3.5 hours to San Juan de la Maguana, and they'll stop places for you to go to the bathroom, things like that. When you get there, so that will be on Sunday. So Saturday you just get to hang out. They feed you, and you'll get to hang out by the pool. So just kind of a nice relaxing day. And then Sunday you'll go to San Juan de la Maguana. You'll unpack all your stuff, get assigned your rooms, and then you'll go through all of the medications. You'll go through all your donations, you'll organize them, you'll get ready for the barrios, they'll kind of explain how it's going to work. You'll meet all of the Solid Rock staff that are going to be there, and things like that. And then Monday through Thursday, you'll be out in the clinics. Usually it depends kind of where you go and how long you're there. Most days you're there from about 8 o'clock in the morning to 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Really depends. Some days we were really busy, other days there just weren't a lot of people. Most of the places we dealt with, we actually spent more time with people that were from Haiti. People come across the border from Haiti to the Dominican Republic because those of you that are reading that book right now, Haiti is much, much worse than the Dominican Republic, which when I was over there, I was like, oh my gosh, it must be so much worse because people here are living in such poverty. But you'll just see some really incredible stuff while you're over there, and people there are just so nice. They're so thankful for everything that you do, and it's just a really rewarding experience. You guys will have so much fun. And then on Friday, they'll take you back to Santo Domingo. You'll get to spend, I think they give you about 3 or 4 hours to do some exploring. Go get ice cream, explore all of the colonial sites that are over there. And then from there, they'll take you to a hotel in Santo Domingo. You'll get to stay there, hang out at the pool for the rest of the day. And then on Saturday, the hotel that you stay at has like an all-inclusive breakfast. And then they will take you to the airport. So by that day, we were all pretty excited because we had been taking really cold showers for the whole entire week. And then on Friday, we get to be in a hotel and it had warm water and air conditioning. So that was really nice. So it's they kind of treat you at the end. So just know that it's going to be hot. They do say so. I think Jessica, one of our other staff, made this list when she went to the Dominican Republic because one of the things they put on there was earplugs. But I can tell you right now, I did not hear a single thing over the sound of the fans because I had like every fan in the bedroom on, and I didn't hear anything over that. So just know you're going to be hot and sweaty pretty much the whole time, and then the showers are cold. You're not going to get any warm showers while you're over there. So it will definitely be an experience, but it's a lot of fun, and you guys will learn a lot of different things, and you'll get to rotate throughout each day in the barrio. So there's a pharmacy that we run. We'll have PT this year. We have Days for Girls. We have triage, and then we have someone who weighs babies, and then there's they have 2 providers where you get to sit at the table. And they have a translator, and you get to listen to the conversation between the doctor and the patient. So you guys will get to rotate, so you'll get to be in one station at least once or twice. That's something Locke, usually the night before, so usually the night before each day you go out to the clinics, usually I assign a student to be the leader over that, of assigning who's going to go where. You just kind of get everyone in a group, decide who wants to do what the first day, and then day 2 you switch, day 3 you just kind of rotate to make sure everybody gets a chance to do everything. And then with that, I usually just do everyone the night before. It's hard to plan all the way ahead because the first day they may decide, oh, I want to specifically be in pharmacy because I didn't like what I was doing or something like that. So it just gives them a chance to get the opportunity to work in different, see what, different people are doing, and things like that. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions at all? Are you guys excited, or did I just like totally scare you? And I'm looking at some faces and people look a little bit scared. Don't be scared. It will be so much fun. You guys will have so much fun. Just so you know, I wanted to just tell you a little bit about the staff there. So Commanda and her husband have a daughter. Her name's Reagan. And just a little background about them, and they'll tell you a little bit, but they're actually originally from the United States. And same with the people who run the guest house. They are from the United States. And they moved to the Dominican Republic to work for Solid Rock. So they, are incredible people, and they'll tell you their story of how they ended up here. But, I mean, Reagan goes to school there, and she is completely fluent in Spanish, and they just did have another child. So it is a safe place. They take really good care of you. While you're over there, the second you step off that plane, they take care of you. They transport you places, they will take you to dinner that one night. Oh, you might get a chance to play softball with the locals. That was actually my favorite part of the whole trip. We got to go out and play softball with a bunch of the local people that were there, and that was so much fun. Sometimes students say they don't want to do it. We had a group that was really into that, so we played, and it was really fun. But they're incredible people that have sacrificed so much of their time and their lives to live in the Dominican Republic and give back. So we like to tell you to be safe, don't drink the water, and things like that. But you will have so much fun and you'll be safe the whole time you're there. So they'll take very good care of you. Let's see. I don't know.
I can give you my cell number in case for any reason you're gonna be
Yeah.
delayed by getting there. It's 435. Okay.
So do phones work there?
No, so you won't have, okay, so they have Wi-Fi. It's very spotty, so sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. There were times where before I went to bed, I'd watch a little bit of a Netflix show and it would just turn off halfway through. That's just gonna happen. The Wi-Fi's not really good there. So if you have, like my husband and I communicated while we were there using when the internet was good, we used, I don't have FaceTime on my phone, but we used like a face chat through Facebook. But if you have Wi-Fi, you can make phone calls and stuff like that using, like if you have unlimited data or you have an iPhone, you can FaceTime, but phones will not work. You don't have any service. I don't know if we've talked to you about that, getting international service just while you're over
Yeah,
there.
and she also just recommended that Carol Sue's gonna be taking a lot of photos, just that, you know, your focus is really helping serve the folks.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, certainly you can take a few photos here and there, but
Yeah, and interacting with each other. I mean, we played night games a couple of times, I don't remember the game they played. They played, I don't even remember, Mafia, I think that was the game that they played. That was one of the games that we played at night. Some card games, things like that. So, you know, interact with each other. You're there to, you know, learn about the culture and have fun, not to be on your phones. Like I said, the internet is very spotty. If you need to tell a parent, my mom was like, please let me know when you get there. You know, and my husband was like, let me know when you get there. If you have someone you need to let know, okay, I'm there, you know, purchase international insurance just while you're there, so you can call your mom and say, hey, I made it, or, you know, when you get Wi-Fi, just text them, okay? But like I said, it is spotty, and yeah, you're not gonna have service over there. And international insurance, I think they only, international plan, I don't know why I keep saying insurance, they are kind of limited, so it depends on what you purchase, but usually you only get a certain amount of texts and a certain amount of phone call time. You just have to check with your phone provider. But you don't necessarily need it, you will have Wi-Fi if you need to contact family
and
members.
if you don't get it and you download a whole bunch of stuff, you could get some charges.
Yeah, yeah.
Some
Yes.
big charges, so.
Yeah.
I'll give you my
Yeah.
number.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's LOCKE, LOCKE. And then it's 435-632-3116. And I think we'll just plan to gather right there at the
Mhm.
check-in.
So we're flying with American Airlines, okay, so when you get to the airport, you'll want to go, there's like where we met in Vegas by American Airlines, there's just like this big area of a bunch of chairs. You'll wanna just meet somewhere in that lobby area, and then make sure you're there by 8 o'clock. If you're going to be late, if you hit traffic, if you had an accident, if something happened, please text Locke and say, hey, this is blah, 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 and I am late because of this reason. Or just give them a call and say, hey, I'm really sorry, I'm running a little bit late. Because there are two of them, so we could have one start checking in and somebody else could just stay with the student who's gonna be late, okay? Because we don't wanna make everybody late and miss their flight, okay? Usually they're pretty quick about getting through security. When I was in the Dominican Republic, on our way back, I would tell them, because Commander got us to the airport very late, and we had to wait in this ridiculously long line just to get through to students' bags checked and stuff, and we were really late. So I would just say, hey, we need to be at the airport at this time. Because I told her what the flight time was, and she got us there like an hour before, and it was not enough time. So I would just say to her, okay, 3 hours ahead, okay, Commander, we need to be at the airport at this time. Okay, and just reiterate that to her, okay, we need to be here at this time. Just because we don't want to be late. That's just something to remember.
So our return flight's at 4:27 in the afternoon.
So you want to be there at the airport 3 hours ahead of that. Just because when we got in there, because when we were in Vegas, there was no one. We got through security like that. I mean, we were just sitting there, just hanging out. But when we got to the DR airport, it was crazy. There were so many people. So, that was one thing. And it, you know, when you are going through, because you have to go through, I think it was when we got to Miami that they sent us through customs and stuff. I'm trying to remember when it was. But it just, that doesn't take a long time. It was just a line waiting in to check bags and know where everyone was going. And some of their areas where they, like, where you go through security, half of the lines were closed down. So, yeah, just a little bit different there. And then, I'm trying to think of what else. There was something else that I thought about and I forgot. Oh, I'll take a picture and I'll just email it to all of you. There's a form that you have to fill out on the airplane, and it's a really confusing form. So I filled out the parts that you need to know, and then I will just take a picture and send it to all of you, and then next meeting we'll talk about it. And maybe some of you have flown internationally before and you're like, oh, I know how to fill out that form, no big deal. But we had students that were sitting like 5 rows behind me, like, how do you fill out this form? But we just want to make it easy so we're not like panicking, because students were kind of panicking, like, oh, what do I do? Because they want it, you know, once you get off the airplane, and things like that. Okay, I think that's it. Do you guys have any other questions? Anything you're just dying to ask? Okay, I'm going to show you the bug repellent on Amazon. You can just order it off of there. Okay, so Sawyer insect repellent. It looks just like this. This is the one that we buy. This is the only bottle you need. Okay, that will last you the whole trip. And it's just a lotion. You just rub it on your skin. Wash your hands before you touch your eyes, because that kind of hurts if you get it in your eyes. So after you put it on your skin and your neck and wherever, just wash your hands. Okay. And it's pretty inexpensive. It's only $8.50 for a 6-ounce bottle. Maybe if you could get a twin pack if maybe you're really concerned about getting eaten alive, but we had one and it was plenty. Okay, and then I'm gonna spell this wrong. Probably should just pull that up so I can spell that right. Yum, I think is what it's called. There it is. Okay. Okay. So you don't want that giant bottle. You just want, where is it? They still make the aerosol. Oh, this one right here. You can just buy one bottle of this. That's all you need. See, or it's just that one. And you just lay your clothes out in your yard or in your garage or somewhere not in your house. And you just spray it all over the front and all over the back. There's directions on the back that will explain it. It's very simple. You just let it dry and then you just put it in your suitcase and you're good. You don't have to bring it with you. Okay, so you only, I think they said, I think on the back it says it lasts for like 5 or 6 washes or something like that. So you spray it on there once and you should be fine. Okay, and I think that was it. So it looks like this. This is actually the bottle that I have. So if someone is like the week before the trip, oh my gosh, I forgot, I have a bottle, I didn't use the whole thing, somebody can just have it. I'm not planning to use it again anytime soon. And I tried to find my Sawyer stuff, but I think we ended up leaving it there because I was going to give that to somebody too, so sorry. Okay, I think that is it. Does anybody have any other questions about anything? Are you guys excited? Yes, maybe? Okay, good.
I'll cut myself into.
Will you just press stop on that?